Hey there, Patrick and Kate here with another exciting lesson. We are working our way through the manufacturer phase. Today is lesson 13.03, Understanding Brand Registry. Let's get into it. Going to be breaking this one down into three parts. Number one, brand registry versus brand approval. Two different things there, two different options for you in the brand registry realm. Number two, hiring an IP accelerator attorney. And number three, alternatives to brand registry. Little hint, it's brand approval. Okay. So first section here is brand registry versus brand approval. First question you're asking is, what is brand registry? Well, a little history on this. When I first got selling private label on Amazon, there came along this thing called brand registry, right? It was a new program, even a whole, you could call it a new platform within the Amazon Seller Central world that would allow brands to register, right, on Amazon as being, an official brand. Official meaning they were developed, they may have a tax license, they may have, they're calling themselves official, at least on the Amazon platform, and they have their branding and logo on their products, their packaging, and in their listings. So Amazon created this program to kind of start to keep non-branded companies from coming in and messing with those who were registered as brand registered on Amazon. In other words, so since our listings are kind of the property of Amazon, once we create a listing for our products, it joins the Amazon catalog, and that's Amazon now owns that listing, right? So anybody can come in and say, all right, this listing here for this product, I have one of those products. I have that exact brand of product. And especially when you're talking about retail arbitrage and there's, wholesaling and there's more than one seller selling, a lot of these products, separate brands can come in and say, I want to sell this product. So there could be multiple offers on a product. The problem arises when the brand owner themselves don't want anybody else selling their product. Well, Amazon was like, how do we deal with this, right? How are we going to keep those products that are owned by one brand that doesn't want anybody else selling it from allowing other counterfeiters or hijackers to come in and sell on those listings as well? How are we going to keep this from happening, right? How are we going to protect those brands that want to be standalone, selling their own products from the other hijackers, or from the other brands that, or from the other sellers who may want to hijack their listing? Well, brand registry was the answer. Okay. When it first started out, you didn't have to have a trademark to get brand registered, right? And then, I don't know, about 4 years ago or so, brand registry, all of a sudden, it was required that you get a trademark on your brand name or on your brand logo for you to be able to be brand registered on Amazon. Okay. So brand registry 2.0 includes the need to get trademarked. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. In order to protect and build your brand, Amazon Brand Registry helps you protect your intellectual property, manage your listings, and grow your business, regardless of whether you sell in our store for free. Okay. Simply put, Brand Registry is a program that Amazon encourages, allowing brand owners on Amazon certain privileges, right? So not only does it protect you from hijackers, but there's other privileges. Now, what is brand approval? Counter to brand registry is brand approvable. It's another option. Okay. So brand approval is an internal Amazon certification that you can obtain if you jump through some hoops via Amazon seller support. It is a short-term solution for brands not wanting to trademark yet. Okay. Remember, you have to get a trademark if you want to brand register. So if you're not quite ready to put out that $1,500 or so, then you want to get brand approval instead. It's a short-term solution. It solves temporarily the error code that you may get, 5665, when attempting to change your product detail pages, right? So after you create your listing, send your product into Amazon, let's say you want to go in there and change your title. If you're not brand registered, then it's most likely you're not going to be able to change that title. I mean, you're going to be able to go there and change it in Seller Central, but those changes aren't oftentimes going to be reflected in your listing, and you're going to have to jump through hoops. You're going to have to get on Amazon Seller Central, Seller Support, and open a ticket, and you're going to ask to have your title updated. And in the process of doing that, you may get error code 5665, right? So in order to avoid that or to deal with that, you can get brand approval. Over the years, Amazon has moved closer and closer to requiring all brand owners to get full brand registry by trademarking. All right, so here is some advantages versus disadvantages of each of those programs, okay? Brand registry advantages: expedites the process of removing counterfeit listings, so the hijackers. It gives you increased control over your listing information. It allows you to add A+ content, which if you scroll down in a lot of Amazon listings to where the product description usually is, you'll see A+ content, which is there'll be images there, there'll be pictures of the other products they offer, there'll be fancy text and images and graphics that kind of are an enhanced description that you can add that A+ content if you're brand registered, right? A brand registry allows for you to run experiments where you can split test your various A+ content modules. Okay. The ability to list products with identifiers outside of UPC or EAN codes, right? You get advanced seller support. You get sponsored brand ads. You get virtual bundles tool. You get to have your brand storefront. You get Amazon posts. You get Amazon attribution. You get Amazon Live. You get transparency and Project Zero programs, and you get brand analytics. Brand analytics is a big one, especially this year, now that we're getting actual search and conversion data based upon customer search terms, right? This is some information we have never got before from Amazon. The only way we were ever able to get an idea of what exactly our customers are putting in the search bar and then seeing our products and buying them, the only way we were able to get this before 2022 was to look at the PPC or the sponsored ad data, right? They would tell us what people were searching for and clicking on with our ad data because we were paying for each of those clicks for each of the searches, right? So they always gave us that. But so many of your sales are going to be organic, not people clicking on ads, but clicking on your organic listing, okay? Two different things on the Amazon catalog. You have sponsored ad listings and your organic listing. They'll look identical except for the little word sponsored right under at the top of the title on a sponsored ad, okay? The listings will look identical. If someone searches, backpacking tent and all the tents show up, you may have top sponsored ad with your listing with your main image, and you may have right next to it your organic listing. You may rank top for that keyword organically, and you may rank top for it for the sponsored ad. Okay, so those are two different listings. Brand analytics now gives us the capability to see the search term data for that organic listing and your organic sales. It is very important data. The reason, little note for you all out there in Amazon Sellerland, the reason we are now getting that data is because in 2021 there was some U.S. Congress hearings where big the owners of Google, Amazon, and Apple, I think, or Facebook, had to get up in front of a congressional hearing and answer the questions, such as, when asked directly, they were asked, Amazon specifically was asked, are you using search customer data from your third-party sellers or your private labelers, the brands that are selling on your platform, are you using the data from the sales that they're getting from their customers on the platform for your own good? In other words, Amazon, are you taking data from those products that aren't even yours that they're just selling on your platform? And are you taking that data and then applying it to products that you're going to compete with them with on the same platform? And Amazon's answer, of course, was no, we're not doing that. Ironically, a few months later, all of a sudden, brand registry, brand analytics included the brand new, never given before search term data. Okay. So that's kind of the backstory on that. But that's at the bottom. Brand analytics is at the bottom of the advantages, but it probably should be at the top because it's a real important advantage we get from being brand registered, right? All right, disadvantages. It requires a trademark, which is expensive. Brand registry requires you get trademarked through the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and it's expensive. Okay, but I'm going to tell you how to get it done the quickest, to get brand registry the quickest here in a few. All right. Another disadvantage is it requires a logo on your product and your packaging, right? Oftentimes when you're launching fast, you might forego putting a logo on your packaging. You may even just throw your packaging in a clear, poly bag and slap a suffocation label on it and slap a barcode on it and send it into Amazon. And you may not even have a brand stamped on your product, right? Now we're growing brands around here, and we like to have our packaging and our product itself have the logo on it or the brand name on it somewhere, to kind of head off this, so we don't have to go make changes later. But also, we're building brands that appeal to customers, and so we're trying to get our listings and our packaging, which we're talking about packaging coming up in the next lesson. We're trying to get those things dialed in as well as we can. For the most part, they don't have to be perfect the first time we order and send in our product to Amazon, but we're trying to get them dialed in, and that will include having our branding on it. Okay, so you'll already be set up to get brand registry because of that. Another disadvantage is you need to update the trademark categories if future products are in a different category than the trademarked one originally, which means you got to pay more. You got to add some categories to your trademark registry. Okay. Another disadvantage, brand approval. Advantages to brand approval. You get to save that $1,500 and or time getting a trademark right out of the gates, because you don't have to get a trademark just to get brand approval. There's no USPTO involvement, which means your life's a little less complicated. Okay. And it can solve the Amazon error code 5665. Disadvantages, difficulty to change the listings, right? Little to no hijacker protection. You don't get that A+ content, the fancy description. You don't get that. You're at risk of competitor claiming IP infringement, right? You could be pushed out of your own market by competitor claiming IP infringement, because you're not protected by brand registry, right? You're just brand approved. More IP infringement risk on the Amazon account, so your account could be at risk. None of the exclusive benefits from having brand registry, like we mentioned, a lot of them. There's no additional brand support. There's no A+ content, no brand storefront, no sponsored brand ads, and no brand analytics. Okay. That's brand registry. Brand approval. I guess it would be registry. Approvals all the way over there. All the way over there. All right. Holy cow. Now we're on to section number 2. So now you kind of know the difference between brand registry and brand approval. Really just depends on if you're solid on your brand, which one you go with, okay? And how much cash you have to start your business. Section number 2 in this lesson, hiring an IP accelerator attorney. So let's say you decide to go with brand registry. Before a couple years ago, in order to get brand registry, you had to get trademarked, and we had to go through the laborious 6 to 12-month process of getting a trademark approved through the USPTO. It's quite the process, right? You got to first make sure that you're trademarking something that has not been trademarked yet. Okay. Then you got to submit an application to be trademarked. And then what they do is that there's a whole bunch of attorneys at the USPTO, I think 250 of them, who their only job is to look through the immense trademark catalog and all of the trademarks that have been done in the past, and take your application and look and see, okay, is this trademark that Patrick wants for his brand, is there going to be a conflict with any of these other ones that are already trademarked, right? Is there going to be a conflict? And they explore that, and if they find there's no conflict, then what they do is they put they send you a notice saying, all right, we didn't find any conflicts. We're going to go ahead and put your trademark up in the catalog for all to see and any disputes to come through. All right. So it's like a temporary sitting in the catalog. Kind of these are the trademarks to be. These are in the works, and people know to go check those to see if there's any disputes that they want to impose, because maybe it's conflicting with a trademark that the attorneys didn't find. Right. So it has to go up in the catalog for 30 days, and then it goes through that process, and then there's this whole long process, jumping through hoops, right? Your application is jumping around USPTO, and eventually it gets approved. And recently, in recent years, it's been taking 9 months or so. Okay. So what is IP Accelerator? Well, Amazon provides you an avenue, which is a list of attorneys to choose from, basically, towards getting your brand officially trademarked so that you can obtain brand registry. All right. They're providing you an avenue to have official attorneys that are official, certified by Amazon. They're trusted by Amazon. So when they start the USPTO trademark process for you, at the same time, they go over to Amazon for you and tell Amazon, hey, we want to get brand registry pending the trademark application that we filed on for these people, for this brand, on their behalf. And Amazon's like, oh, all right, well, your attorney Andrea from Idea Legal, who's in our IP Accelerator program, we're going to go ahead and give these guys brand registry because we know you're doing it right. We know you're doing the trademark correctly, and it's probably going to go through. Okay, so we're going to give these guys temporary brand registry for 6 months or whatever until the trademark application comes through. So bonus, when using an IP Accelerator attorney, you are able to get brand registry within about 21 days. Yes, that's right. Not 9 months, 3 weeks. Okay, you get brand registry in about 3 weeks, contingent upon your trademark going through later, since you are using an Amazon approved attorney. All right. So that's the IP Accelerator program from Amazon. So you got to make sure that you're using an IP Accelerator attorney when you're doing this. All right. You'll find people out there that say you don't need the IP Accelerator program, but just pay the money to the IP Accelerator approved attorney and get it done. Get it done right with no hiccups. Okay. Use an IP Accelerator attorney and get brand registry fast. There's more on this program there at that link, and you can learn more there. I will include in the notes who we use for an IP Accelerator. And if you want to know more about who she is, who she works for, and what that's all about, and to be connected, go ahead and email me, patrick@masterprivatelabel.com, and I will provide a connection between you and Andrea. Okay. And her firm. Andrea, we've been working with her for years, and her entire firm does our brand registries for us. Okay. And the trademark apps, obviously. All right. We have partnered with Andrea Selcraig at Idea Legal for numerous successful brand registry trademark applications. You can go there for more info, her idealegal.com/facts, including her price sheet. Okay. The prices to get your brand registered and your trademark applied for. And again, if you'd like to connect, go ahead and connect there, or you can write me and I will help connect you guys. We are not affiliates, I will say. I'm not an affiliate, so there's no cash coming my way. I just push people over to Andrea at Idea Legal because they do a great job. They've never let us down. They tell you ahead of time, hey, this will likely go through, or they'll tell you, you probably shouldn't do this trademark because there's this issue. Okay. And then Andrea will kind of advise us on how we should go about doing things. And she can do a full trademark research before she actually applies for the trademark. Okay. She charges extra for that, to do a full in-depth, deep dive into the tests, with the test catalog, which is the trademark database. She charges a little extra for that, but then you got peace of mind knowing that you're not going to have any problems, almost absolutely, if you go for a trademark there. So more on that, you can just go over to the link there and check it out, see what the information is there and the costs. All right. As she put over there on that fact, the prices below are subject to change. Right. And there's different types of applications. She'll explain that to you. The fact sheet explains it to you. You know, you got an actual use application or an intent to use application. Two different types of applications with the USPTO. Just depends on, are you selling this product actively yet, or do you intend to sell it? Do you intend to use this brand? Are you using the brand now, or do you intend to use it? And also, how much it costs you is based upon the number of international classes in your application. Let's say you're launching two different products in the same brand, and one of them is, you know, baby blankets, and the other one is pacifiers. Those might fall under two different classifications, okay, in the test catalog. In the international classes, they made two different classifications. You have to trademark each classification for your brand, right? And you can see there a one class application versus a two class application is different costs. $950 versus $1450, right? Okay. You can always just register one class and then come back and add one later. It's going to cost you more to go have Andrea help you add one later than it would up front just paying for the two. So it is important to note that in order to apply for a trademark, you may need to provide images of your product packaging with your brand name on the actual product. Idea Legal will direct you accordingly. Okay. And that screenshot there is directly from Idea Legal explaining what you need to do. And for the class 21 product only, this was an application we did where there, as you can see there, we applied for two classes, class 21 and class 14. Class 21, we did an actual use. Class 14, we're doing an intent to use, okay? So there was a two classification application. One of them, we needed to provide these images, right, with the branding on the product. All right, so that's that. She'll guide you accordingly. Our team will. Brings us to point number 3. Okay, that was all about brand registry. You should use the IP Accelerator program, use Andrea's team, get it done, pay the money. Peace of mind, brand registry, you're good to go, right? The alternative to it is the brand approval, okay? So to apply for brand approval, often called brand exemption, you get the short-term savings, but it's not a long-term solution, okay? There are many disadvantages. See our list we went through a minute ago. The main advantage is being able to resolve Amazon error 5665 that can arise when attempting to change your detail page without having brand registry. It's important. You want to be able to change your listing. It's the biggest hang up we have when we're not brand registers. My title's not changing, dang it. If you decide to forego brand registry for the time being and wish to explore brand approval, aka brand exemption, then we recommend you check out this ebook. You can go there to my link for this ebook, this MPL how to handle the 5665 brand name error on Amazon. Okay? Go check that out. I have suggestions in there and guidance on what to do. And that, folks, covers brand registry versus brand approval. All right. So now you know your two options, right? Let me just tell you, about 2/3 of my clients, students who are just starting their brand on Amazon, like today, they will opt to, for the first product launch, for the first few months the product is up, they will just get brand approval. Then when they're feeling warm and fuzzy about their brand and they're about to place, you know, maybe their order for their second product, or they're resupplying their first product with new inventory, they're going to place that order. Then they'll go ahead and get the, hire Andrea at Idea Legal and have them do the IP Accelerator, brand registry, trademark process, right? They'll cough up the $1,500 or whatever to get that done. That's 2/3 of my students do that. You know, a third of them just go ahead and go brand registry right out of the gates. It depends on if you budgeted for it and how confident you are in your brand. It's up to you. It's obviously extra hoops to jump through to get brand approval and then go brand registry. And there's all those things you don't get with brand approval that you get with brand registry. So you just got to keep that in mind. If you want to give your brand the best fighting chance to come out of the gates just swinging, crushing it, doing amazing, attracting all the customers you can, then you're going to want to get brand registry. So you have all those other things like the pretty content and the store and, access to the search term data and brand analytics, all that stuff. You want and the best ads, you want to get the brand ads, right? then that's when you want to get brand registry, if you can afford it. Okay, that's enough out of me on this one. I will look forward to seeing you on our next lesson. Hope this has served you well. See you next time.